COVID is also wreaking havoc with the entertainment industry. Variety stated this week that major concert tours may not come back until 2022, which begs the question, what happens to something like the Harrison Festival? chillTV speaking with Executive and Artistic Director Andrew Hillhouse. chillTV, and we are talking with probably one of the busiest guys with a definitely a difficult job, Andrew Hillhouse, Executive and Artistic Director of the Harrison Festival. 2 years ago, we were all crammed into a small little building going, Buffy St. Marie is going to be here and Chilliwack is going to be here. 2 years later, the festival itself is on pause. We're dealing with COVID. How are you guys running the show? Now, you've had one or two small little mini shows now?
Yeah, and the last few weeks have actually felt surprisingly busy. Possibly because we're operating on a small staff too. It's just myself full-time and Brian Cutler full-time, and then we've got a student, Kara Vinshoff, in with us as well. But yeah, normally we'd be doing 10 days basically of full-on, flat-out festival, two weekends and the weekdays in between. But we have had activities. We had a concert with Benthal Taylor Ulrich on a farm, the Holberg Farm in Agassiz, the old Agassiz house there. And it worked out really well. We had 35 people, so we kept it well below the number that's allowed.
The 50, yeah.
Yeah, like our goal was to, do an event that we knew was safe. Everybody had a good time. We didn't care about money. The main thing was to just do the event and make it happen, and then kind of learn from that. Mm-hmm. And it actually went beautifully well because everybody felt safe, comfortable. They had this intimate experience with the group. It was a lot of work for just a small crew setting up, because it was 3 shows in a day, 3 one-hour shows. Right. And they were, everybody, and they actually turned out to be almost an hour and a half show because these, Benthal Taylor Ulrich were super generous with their time and everything. So.
I guess one thing we should clarify too, these were outdoor shows, so we're not expecting anything inside like we would normally see at the Harrison Hall.
No, and in fact, the Harrison Hall is having no public events at all. It's just closed by the Village of Harrison. So, so we won't be doing anything inside. We did also have a workshop with Darren Charlie, because that's another aspect of what we do, is we do, arts and not just performing arts, but visual arts and culture, and so Darren Charlie does a very popular stylus drum making workshop every year. And so we thought that'd be a great one to have this year. So Darren came and did that last Saturday. We got 12 people out, 2 people to a table, long tables, so they were separated. And it worked out well. So we're gonna do some more things. Okay. We're gonna have another concert in August and some more workshops.
Are we looking at concerts in September as well, or are we kind of pushing it with the weather then?
Yeah, I'd like to do something in September. I would. We haven't firmed up anything, and that's the tricky question, is the weather. But I kind of feel like we could do an outdoor thing in the first 2 weeks of September. Now, having had a lot of experience with the Agassiz Fall Fair, which is canceled this year, I know that weekend often rains.
Yeah.
And it's like the second or third weekend. But so, we'll have tents and that kind of thing. But maybe like a matinee concert or something like that would be good. And then, it wouldn't get into the evening where it starts to get really cool. Yeah. Something like that could be possible. And then after that is a tricky question with so then we might be just moving more online until this thing's over, because it is hard to do anything.
Sponsorships have got to be a tricky thing too. Have you had response from sponsorships for BTU?
Our sponsorships basically stopped, because normally we do a sort of a drive. It's with our regular sponsors. We tend to get the same businesses and organizations over, from year to year, and that just stopped because of the festival. Because for a couple of months we were like every other festival, it was like, what are we going to do? Yeah. And so by the time we sort of figured out what we were going to do, there wasn't a lot of time to sort of do a sponsorship drive. Right. So those kind of sponsorships aren't really happening. Our big granters mostly came through this year, so that's kind of kept us afloat. Gaming, BC Gaming, BC Arts Council, and Canadian Heritage.
Right.
There's a little bit of cutting back in some areas, but on the other hand, there's some emergency funding in some other areas. So, and I'm kind of speaking for a lot of festivals that are in the same boat. It seems like this year there's, we're enough to get through, and then it's like, what's going to happen next year is the question.
Yeah.
And how long this thing goes on, right?
Right.
So,
well, the upside is that the bills are getting paid, and if anybody wants more information, get a hold of you through the Harrison Festival website. Absolutely,
harrisonfestival.com, and we will be announcing more events, as they come out. One thing too is we've got groups of 3 videos where 3 performers each week are releasing 2 songs each. So there's 3 performers on each video with doing 2 songs. We'll be doing that over the next few weeks as pre-recorded kind of stuff too. So that's another online offering we're doing. And if someone wants to donate, there's going to be a donate button on that.
That's what I wanted to know. Andy Hillhouse, Executive and Artistic Director of the Harrison Festival. Thank you for taking some time in this bizarre time of ours, and looking forward to the next show whenever that happens.
Yes, thanks for having me.